Assalamu alaikum viewers, welcome back to my channel English with Ayesha. In today's video, I will tell you about the difficulties or the barriers that a learner or a listener face while listening, or strategies too that how we can improve those barriers or difficulties and how we can improve our listening skills. So let's get started. First, we talk about the barriers or difficulties in listening comprehension. Listening comprehension is a complex phenomenon. The learner of a foreign language has to face many difficulties while listening. Those difficulties are: number 1, difficulties concerning sounds; number 2, difficulties regarding words and grammar; number 3, background noise; number 4, unfamiliar vocabulary; number 5, lack of time; number 6, length and speed of listening; number 7, experience difficulties. Now we discuss all these difficulties one by one. Number 1 is difficulties concerning sounds. Some difficulties may occur due to accent, intonation, stress, volume, and clarity. Number 2, difficulties regarding words and grammar. Lack of grammatical rules in conversation may cause difficulties and grammar. Some listening words have special meaning but listeners don't understand them. They face difficulty in synonyms, antonyms, homonyms, pronunciation, tenses, and grammatical rules. Listeners may face difficulty regarding these points. Number 3 is background noise. Background noise can also create problems for the listeners. If background is not clear, listeners may not concentrate at what the speaker is saying. Number 4 is unfamiliar vocabulary or lack of vocabulary. When listening contains unknown words, it would not be easy for listener to understand. If listeners don't know the meaning of words, this can fall their interest and motivation and cannot have a positive impact on the listener's listening ability. A lot of words have more than one meaning, and if they are not used appropriately in their appropriate context, listeners will get confused. In this way, lack of vocabulary may cause difficulty in listening comprehension. Number 5 is lack of time. Any conversation where one or both parties are worried about the time available is bound to suffer from listening problems. Difficulty of time is mostly found in business context. Number 6 is length and speed of listening. The level of listeners can have a significant role when they listen to long parts and keep all information in their mind. It is very difficult for lower level listeners to listen more than 3 minutes long and complete the listening task. Speed can make listening passage difficult. If the speakers speak too fast, listeners may have serious problems to understand second language words. In this situation, the learners are not able to control the speed of speakers, and this can create critical problems when listening comprehension. Number 7 is experience difficulties. If the listener is not familiar with the topic or subject matter or the speaker and his way of speaking, he will not be able to respond properly. So, experience difficulty may also cause difficulty in listening comprehension. So, these are the difficulties that a listener faces while listening. Now we talk about the strategies that how we can improve our listening and how we can remove these difficulties or barriers. Number 1 is command on grammar. A listener should pay full attention towards grammatical rules and able to understand the words and the meaning of speech. Number 2, knowledge of sounds and pronunciation. Knowledge of sounds and the rules of pronunciation help the listeners to overcome the difficulty while listening. Listeners should try to imitate native speakers' pronunciation. Number 3 is recognition of accent. Listeners should be familiar with the accents of different native speakers. Due to the fact that native speakers have specific accents, it is necessary for listeners to recognize the differences between American and British accents. Number 4 is pay attention. Stay focused during listening and don't get distracted. Listen and watch the tone of voice, body language, and facial expressions of the person you are talking to. Number 5. Start vocabulary of useful words. Either in a notebook or on your computer, take making a list of useful words and phrases. Every time you hear or see a word you are not familiar with, note it down. Number 6. Slow your listening down. Take a minute to breathe and think about listening and to be aware. We speak an average of 120 words per minute, but listening 4 times faster. Stay focused, slow down your listening, and listen more than you talk. In this way, you can improve your listening skill. Number 7. Listening exercise. Listening exercises can correct listeners' error and increase their motivation and help them to develop their confidence. Number 8 is clear background. Listeners should be careful about the clear background and should pay full attention for effective listening. Number 9 is conversation with native speakers. Listeners should talk to native speakers face to face or on the internet so that they can create and reinforce a good habit of listening in themselves. Number 10 is authentic English material. Authentic listening materials can help the listeners to understand better the natural speech uttered by native speakers. Authentic material in English language can be found in the form of newspapers, magazines, everyday conversations, interviews, lectures, films, music, TV plays, audio tapes, radio news, and so on. So, these are the strategies or solutions to make listening effective. If we follow these solutions or strategies, we can improve our listening skill. That's all about my side. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and tell me in the comment section what you want in the next video. Till then, Allah Hafiz.